So today I'm doing a 24-hour and I need to prepare my bait. First I soaked my bird seed for 48 hours and then boiled for 30 minutes to be able to add to my bait mix. Before adding the bird seed, I decided to get all my dry baits ready beforehand. I added orange boilies into the mix. Then crushed up 2 cupfuls of boilies to add. And it started to come together nicely. Then I wanted to add quite a few cups of monster crab pellets. Then I added some PVA pellets just because I had them on hand. But before that I added some more boilies as it looked like it needed more. It all looked good after mixing, it looked like it was coming together nicely. So I added the bird seed and forgot to record it all mixed in. Next was to get my stuff ready and then head off to the venue. I then forgot to record putting everything up, but it all came together nicely and got some photos and clips. Within this clip you can hear a couple of bite indications throughout it, and in a second you'll see that I ended up catching a fish. I wasn't able to record the netting or catching of the fish, but it looked nice. And 15 minutes later I caught a mirror. Then I decided to cook dinner. And in the middle of eating I ended up catching a bream, but I couldn't complain as the view was beautiful. I then went round the lake baiting multiple spots. I had my rods on all day, so hopefully get a bite throughout the night. And as you can see later on, this worked quite well.
Over there to be able to bait that up, and also the parts where I'm casting. So those reeds for tonight. I'm gonna play some fishing now in between the reeds. Tom's just gone over there to bait them in between, gap between the 2 reeds that we've both got a rod in.
There he is now. About to come through there. There you go, there he is. Walking up now. We couldn't really complain even if we weren't going to catch, because look at this view. Just mixed up the second bucket of bait. Got crab pellets, normal pellets, chocolate orange boilies, and I'm going to put some goo in there. We've already used all of the other bait that we made with the particles and all that. So yeah, I'm going to go out and bait again soon. Just put the krill syrup in, looking quite red. Hopefully it should work well. I have just lost one, which is quite annoying, which is my carp rig on the left side of the reeds. I need to put more pressure on it, but I just completely messed up. I wasn't paying attention properly. But yeah, hopefully we should get a good big one soon.
Midnight bait before we go to sleep. Boiling pellets.
Before going to sleep, we decided to cook up some sausages to have a snack. In the middle of cooking these sausages, Tom's rod went off and he had caught a carp. We went back to the sausages and they're all good and not burnt, but that did not last long, as my rod went off and I caught this nice carp.
Good morning, guys. Had nothing for the night. Just had a take now, but instantly come off. So yeah. Hopefully we get one before we leave.
Tom was lucky, and right before we started packing up to leave, Tom's rod went off and he caught a nice little carp.
That's carp.
So that's the end of the video, so please like and subscribe if you'd like to see more.